how are you feeling today? This is Yoga with Come Follow Me. I am Catherine. This is my daughter who joins me from time to time. And she loves it, huh? Okay, so reviewing yesterday, start to come to your breath, and we'll review a little bit. We're in the 5th year of the reign of the judges. A lot of wars, a lot of contentions. So yesterday we left off after their battle, their first battle in the land of Zarahemla with the Lamanites. So wherever you are, start to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And yesterday I also left off with something that has just been on my mind lately. A part of my testimony that is getting very strengthened as of right now. So it's just on my mind. But I talked a little bit about how the Lamanites weren't necessarily bad people, and the Nephites aren't necessarily good people. They're all just people who believe different things. We're all just people. We're all here. We're all here in the same experience. So come into a position like this where you're on your hips, our knees are bent, and your hands can be back behind you with your fingers facing behind you. Your fingers can face in front of you. What we're doing is coming up onto our tailbone. This degree is going to be about a 90-degree angle, and we're really engaging that core here. We're not letting it relax and slump. We're engaging the core, lifting our spine, relaxing our shoulders, bringing them back and down. And you can come here. Again, you can, for a little bit of a modification and help balancing, you can bring your hands back behind you. You can also grab your heels. A little bit more of an intense pose. Can you do this, babe?
Keep falling down.
After this battle of the Nephites and Lamanites, the Nephites who were not slain by the weapons of war, this is verse 1, having buried those who have been slain, they buried their dead and returned their wives and children. And then in verse 4, and the Amalekites were distinguished from the Nephites, for they had marked themselves with red on their foreheads, after the manner of the Lamanites. So the Lamanites had shaved heads, and they marked themselves on their forehead with a red marking. And this is how they distinguished themselves apart from the Nephites, because the Nephites didn't do that. Which made me kind of think of garments. It's what we wear to remember the promises that we make in the temple. It's our own personal reminder. And how, again, these times back then are not so much different than these times now. Okay, from here we're going to straighten our knees, come up and bind your peace fingers to your big toe, or you can just grab your feet. I'm in socks, so I'm just going to grab my toes. And lift up, lengthen that spine, gaze up past your toes. So one more time, the Lamanites are going to come to the Nephites and battle them for the last time for a while. And this time Alma does not fight. In verse 22, Alma himself, being afflicted with a wound, did not go to battle this time against the Lamanites, but he sent his numerous strong men and their strong armor and their testimonies and their strength of God. And they go up and battle the Lamanites one more time. The Nephites win, and that ends the 5th year of the reign of the judges. Okay, from here, bring your hands to the outside of your soles. And bend your elbows, bringing your feet in towards the forehead as much as you can. Whenever you're ready, bend your knees, bring your feet back down, and this time we're just going to shift our weight, come onto all fours. You can do this one, how pace?
I can do this.
Yeah, you got this one. And let's do some cat and cows and just deepen that breath. So inhale, curl your back, gaze up. Exhale, arch the back, chin to chest, gaze back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So the 6th year of the reign of the judges is all mourning from the 5th year. And then the 7th year, a lot of people get baptized. So the church starts to flourish again among the Nephites. And there's continual peace. And in verse 6, in the 8th year of the reign of the judges, the people began to wax proud because of their exceeding riches, their fine silks, their linen, and many flocks and herds, their gold and silver, all their precious things. They lifted up for the pride of their eyes and began to wear very costly apparel. Now this was a lot of affliction to Alma because he has seen all sides of everything. He has seen the people become so humble, like we saw in chapter 1 yesterday. They were so humble and the church was so prosperous. And they were so faithful, and they gave to the poor, they gave to the hungry. They didn't have so much pride in their hearts. Now that chapter that year versus this year, there's a lot of contention and a lot of pride and persecution, even to exceed the pride of those who did not belong to the church of God. That's verse 9. From here, come bring your hips onto your heels down in hero pose, and we are going to lift the right leg, grab the toes of your right leg, and straighten that knee. So I'm going to come this way. Straighten that knee. So in the 9th year of the reign of the judges, the pride continues. There's a ton of pride. And Alma sees this and feels like he probably needs somebody else to step in. He's feeling a little overwhelmed being their leader. I don't blame him. Okay, bring that leg back down. Switching legs. Right palm on the ground. Left leg up. Straighten that knee. So Alma comes in with a man named Nephiha. Nephiha steps in to be the chief judge over the people. Alma is still the number 1 leader. And they set some laws in place. Okay, when you're ready, bend that leg back down. This time we're going to come up onto our knees. Bring the right leg straight out to the side. And inhale up, lengthen the spine, gaze up, and exhale, we're just gonna bend that left side body all the way over to the straightened leg. Gaze up. And really feel that stretch. This hand of mine, this right hand, is just resting. I'm not putting any weight. If you need to put some weight on that right hand, just go down and touch the floor. You can also bring it to your thigh. Just don't rest it on your knee joint. Inhale, back up to center. Let's switch sides. Straighten the left. Inhale, right arm to the sky, and exhale. Lengthen. Inhale all the way up to center, and exhale. Come down into hero pose and start to calm down your breath just a little bit. I admire Alma a lot in this chapter because Alma is delegating so much to Nephiha and putting so much trust in him, which would be hard. I think delegation is a really hard thing to do, and to let go of some of that control. So much trust in another leader to lead a lot of your own people. And in verse 19 it says, "This he did, that he himself might go forth among his people, that he might preach the word of God unto them, and stir up in remembrance of their duty. He might pull down by the word of God all the pride and craftiness and all the contentions which were among his people, seeing no way that he might reclaim them, save it were bearing down in pure testimony against them." So he's basically just like, you guys need to be a little more humble. You're getting way too ahead of yourselves, and a lot of things are happening because of that, like contention among our people, and we don't want that. So let's come back down to the root and core values of the gospel and the word of God, and come back down to our testimonies and what we really just truly believe in. Which I think is such an interesting answer when we feel like we are being lifted up in pride in one way or another in the gospel. As Alma would say, just come back down to the core and the root of your own testimony. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. This week, my thought that I'm going to leave with you today is to think about the root and the core of your own testimony in your life. What is it? What does it look like? Not going into the culture of the gospel, not looking at what people think or what they might feel or what we should be doing or what we feel like we should be doing because everyone else is doing things. Forget all of it. This week, maybe journal, maybe pray, maybe meditate on what your personal relationship with your own testimony looks like. The light in me. Okay. The light in me honors and loves the light within you. I will see you next week. Namaste.